Welcome back. It's still Good Morning Anambra, and this time we want to look at the Onyebuchi Chris Ifediora Foundation and the ArOY Youth Campaign that we'll be holding in Anambra. And I have with me this morning to discuss this topic Dr. Chioma Ezenyimulu, Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer, Anambra State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Also, we have Mrs Imelda Emeka, Domestic Liaison Officer, OCI Foundation, and former Global, is that? Zonal Director of Education, Otuocha Zone. All right, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Can you let us know into the ArOY Youth Program by Onyebuchi Chris Ifediora Foundation?
ArOY Youth Campaign is all about health program, catching them young, getting the youths and our women mostly to know about breast and cervical cancer. To know about it means to identify the symptoms early enough. Because when you identify it early enough, then the treatment will commence. That is all about ArOY Youth Campaign, which will take off next week.
All right. Let me come to you, Doc. When it comes to the engagement of the state government and private organizations, what motivated you to see that these people have a good cause for the state government to partner with them on this project?
Thank you very much. We are very happy to partner with OCI Foundation, Onyebuchi Chris Ifediora Foundation, because he is paying particular attention to sensitization of the public on ways to prevent breast and cervical cancer. And he has targeted especially young girls. As you know, breast and cervical cancer affects mainly girls. So it's a very worthy campaign to be able to target them, give them the information, empowering the young ladies. So this is what the foundation is all about, and we found it worthy, and that is why we are partnering with him.
Okay, so what are the opportunities the government and the people of Anambra can get from this partnership?
Okay, so the foundation is partnering with the Ministries of Education and Health. And what we want to do is we want to train the civic education teachers, because this subject is compulsory in junior secondary. So we want to train the civic education teachers and, teach them, train them on breast and cervical cancer so that they can, in turn, teach these young students, both male and female. And of course, it's a subject, so the students are going to be examined. They will take exams on what they are taught to make sure they learn how to prevent cervical and breast cancer.
Okay, Mrs. Emeka, what is the essence or what is the extent of this partnership? What are the coverage areas that you're looking at?
Nigeria as a whole, but for a start, Anambra State. All the senior secondary school students of all the 261 schools we have in Anambra State. That is the scope for now.
Okay, why the focus on breast and cervical cancer? There are many diseases and other challenges facing young people. Why the focus on breast and cervical cancer?
If you can think back, the breast and cervical cancer has killed a lot of women. And most of them out of ignorance. And this cancer cells is not something like malaria or typhoid fever or any other thing. Sometimes due to stigma, a child has lumps in her breast and has a problem, she cannot come to you. They hide it, and because when they hide it, it will go a long way when the cells burst that it cannot be controlled. Then the child dies or the woman dies. But if we catch them young and teach them, this numerous deaths we get in breast and cervical cancer will reduce. So that is why the breast and cervical cancer. Because most times, if you look at the World Health, they're always talking about cancer, cancer, cancer. So that cancer is a problem, especially in Africa. So that is why breast and cervical cancer is the utmost area that the OCI Foundation has started with.
Okay. Doc, some people will say, why train males also? That this should have been an exclusive that should be left for female schools.
We have to train males too, because breast cancer occurs in males too. You know, breast cancer is cancer of the breast. So anybody that has the breast tissue can have cancer, but it's a low incidence in males, just 1%. So we need to educate males, because you never know who will be under the 1%, unfortunately. And of course, all the males have mothers, have aunties, have sisters. They're going to have wives too. So they can all help in the fight against breast and cervical cancer.
All right, we are still talking about ArOY Youth Campaign being promoted by the Anambra State Government and OCI Foundation. They want to reach schools, reach everybody on the knowledge about these two issues and get them more educated to, or get them more aware about this challenge so that they can also train other people and let other people know. We have 2 minutes talk that will show you. When we come back, we'll begin to look at the campaign that will be starting from next week. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Ebele Okaro Onyuke. I am pleased to share with you this short video clip on breast awareness and breast self-examination. Here, we will learn about breast self-examination. This short video clip is actually going to give women tips and procedures on how to self-examine their breasts. I enjoin you all to relax and enjoy this video, because it will be beneficial not just to the women but to our families, friends, our classmates, colleagues, and so on. Being breast aware is a vital component of the overall fight against cancer. It's also good because half of the people infected with this disease are actually the ones that identified what they had. Being breast aware is a vital component of the fight against cancer. It's also important because half of the breast cancers are actually identified by the people being affected. Breast cancers are common in women in their 40s, but women in their 20s and teenagers are also known to develop it. So, everyone should take this video seriously because we can learn 1 or 2 tips. The content of this video could be life-saving. May God bless and protect us all.
Welcome back. We still have the team from the OCI Foundation, the Anambra State Government, talking about the breast cancer and cervical cancer campaign. They're sponsoring a campaign called ArOY Youths, and it will help people to understand the challenges of breast cancer and cervical cancer disease and how to identify them. We want to begin to talk about the campaign formally now. Doc, can you tell us what's in the plan, how this campaign will run?
Okay, so the campaign is kicking off on Tuesday, the 10th of September, with a flag off ceremony. This will be at the Unizik main auditorium. And that will be, like I said, the flag off ceremony. We are expecting a lot of dignitaries on that day. His Excellency Chief Dr. Willie Obiano will be in attendance. We are also expecting the First Lady of Anambra State, Dr. Mrs Imelda Emeka, and of course the Vice Chancellor. We are having the event in his domain. He is the chief host. He will be in attendance. Talking of the Vice Chancellor of Anambra State University, we are expecting the commissioners of health and education, women affairs, and other line ministries, and a host of other dignitaries. The Nollywood, as you can see, they will also be in attendance, and what have you. So the next day, being Wednesday, the 11th, and Thursday, the 12th, we are going to have the workshop proper. We are going to train the civic education teachers across the state. So they will come for the 2-day workshop.
Okay. What are the kind of skills that we expect to be seen at that workshops? What are the things that people will be trained on?
They will be trained on the doctor that will be in charge. We train them on the techniques of seeing that a child knows how to examine the breast and identify if there are lumps there. That's the techniques that they will be taught. So that when they get back to school, they will train the students and they will learn the techniques of examining their breast, because most of them, they don't know. Even the women in the markets and in their homes, they don't know. But these girls will be trained, and when they get back, they will help to teach their mothers, their sisters, what have you.
All right. Finally, some of these things, there should be a target of results. Maybe after these workshops and after these campaigns must have been concluded, what are the expected results you feel that Anambra girls and boys should have learned in the process?
Thank you. The program is aimed at creating awareness for breast and cervical cancer. As you may have known, the breast cancer usually starts as a lump. So if the woman is able to detect that lump just when it is starting, it goes a long way in preventing the ailment. And the technique is very simple. It should be done once a month by every female. You should examine your breast, both breasts, feel it, and see whether there are any lumps. That technique will be taught at that event. The same for cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is sexually transmitted. It is caused by the human papilloma virus. And because it is sexually transmitted, we preach abstinence for girls, and of course, mutual fidelity for people who are married. This is a way of preventing cervical cancer. And of course, the pap smear, every woman from age 40 should go to the hospital and do a pap smear for prevention of cervical cancer, because early detection is key. So that even if you have any of these cancers, if you detect it early, there is still that window of treatment that is available. So that is the message for the Anambra. Let everybody be aware of breast and cervical cancer prevention.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Chioma Ezenyimulu. She is the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer, Anambra State Primary Health Care Development Agency. We also have Mrs Imelda Emeka, Domestic Liaison Officer, OCI Foundation. and former Zonal Director of Education, Otuocha Zone. Both of us came this morning and they're discussing about breast and cervical cancer campaign under the ArOY Youth Campaign of OCI Foundation and Anambra State Government. We expect that this campaign will yield a better and positive result for the Anambra. We will leave you now with the testimonials that so far has been given by people who have participated in the training. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Sign out from here. I am David Okwapasele.
I don't know how to express my joy today. I'm so happy that somebody from this zone will come up with such educative program. Other zones don't have it. I'm so proud of the country. I came into this zone 16 months ago. And this 16 months ago, I've never had rest from Dr. Fedor because of what he's doing in this zone. The first call I got, international call, not local call, please. I got that international call. I said, please introduce yourself. They said, I'm Dr. Fedor. I said, they've had me over your name, but I don't know anything about race plan. I said, please give me a date for exam. For people, for children in this zone. I want to sponsor them. In short, I went home that day, I did not sleep. I said, somebody, somewhere, outside this place, is thinking of the children of this particular zone. Please, any day I get up from my bed, once I pray, I will say, God bless this man. God should give him the finance to continue with what he's doing. And God should add more years to him. We need more of the failure in this zone. Because many of them that are in the university today could not believe they would enter and see the 4 walls of the university. But it was true that they failed. Many of them that are in secondary school now, some of them are just there to attend. Maybe after SS they will go and get married. But some of them today have succeeded in making the way, and they are now in IIT. And he did not stop there. He kept on training them. Please, I want everybody to clap for Dr. Ibeji. And he did not stop there. He kept on training them. Please, I want everybody to clap for Dr. Ibeji. Last time, the chairman of the PPSS made it compulsory that children that are sponsored.
We have Osodieme in the house, the First Lady of the state, Anambra State Government. We have Chief Mrs Imelda Emeka in the house. And he represented by Dr. Mrs Chioma Ezenyimulu. And we'll be taking the national anthem to make our welcome.
Dr. Fedor said that we should